A warm welcome to all. So let us move on to another chapter coming under biometrics, that is uh, principles and types of experimental designs. You know what is an experiment. So experiment is actually done for an answer to a question. Okay. So it is a design, a plan for the collection and analysis of data. So the observations obtained from a carefully planned and well designed experiment gives a valid inference. Okay. So when you are going to do research, you have to plan your experiment first. So a well designed experiment will give you a valid inference. So that is very, very important. So design of experiment is an important part of our research. So you have to construct it experiment logically, okay, and in which every part should be well defined. So this is a fundamental in part in the statistics and the design of experiment. Okay. So how can you define an experiment? It is a device or a means of getting an answer to the problem under consideration. So getting an answer to the problem under consideration. So I am giving you a problem. There are two cattle or two birds in your home. So you are providing it diet, and you have two types of diet or two types of fodder in your hand. So you have to test. Your question is which fodder will give you better result. So how will you do this? Okay, the problem is which fodder will give you best result. So for that you have to conduct an experiment by keeping the number of birds, that is hen or cock, whatever it may, cow, whatever it may. By keeping them you have to conduct an experiment. So before going into the experiment you have to design it. So your aim is which feed will give better result. So in order to get that answer to that particular question, you have to devise or design an experiment. Clear? So for that you have to study number of terms. The method of assigning treatment to the experimental unit and its arrangement in various patterns to suit the requirement of particular problems is known as design of experiment. So you will study what is a treatment, what is an experimental unit. Okay. So method of assigning treatment to the experimental unit and arrangement of the unit, okay, to suit the requirement of particular problem. Clear? That is known as what? Design of an experiment. So what is an experimental unit? The smallest division of the experimental material to which we are applying treatment to derive observations. For example, here I have given an example in that the cattle or the bird is the experimental unit. Okay. So the smallest division of the experimental material in which we are applying the treatment to get the result or observations is known as what? Experimental unit. Understood? Okay. Now, what is a treatment? That various objects of comparison in a experiment is known as treatment. For example, in our case, I gave an example in that two types of feed or diet is the treatment. Clear? So now you got that answer. So two type of diet is the treatment. See, the method of assigning treatment to the experimental unit means in which way you are giving the diet to the birds or cattle. How you are arranging your experimental unit to give the treatment. How you are arranging your birds to give the diet. The various way you are using to this, how you will design this to get the better result is known as what? Experimental design. So treatment is the object of comparison in an experiment. For example, another example is different fertilizers or different varieties of crops. So different varieties of fertilizers you are applying for a paddy field. In your sample paddy variety, what is the influence of each fertilizer in that paddy? That is an experiment. So that fertilizer is a treatment there. Understood? Okay. Now, another important term is block. This you studied in your sampling methods. So in an agricultural experiment, usually we have to divide the whole experimental unit into homogeneous groups, that is known as blocks. Clear? So you will have a large land, for example. In that large land, there are high fertile area is there, less fertile area is there, moderate fertile area is there in the big plot. So you have to divide this full plot into such homogeneous blocks. Then conduct an experiment. That is known as what? That unit is known as what? Block. Then only you will get a good result. Clear? So the land on which the trial is carried out is divided into many blocks of same size and shape. Okay. And this is very important point. Heterogeneous groups divide into homogeneous groups. That is block. There is R blocks and T plots. In each block, a total of TR plots. Understood? R blocks and T plots. So TR plots. The treatments are allocated randomly to T plots in the block. Clear? Treatments are allocated randomly. That we will discuss later. Okay. So the terms very important. What is an experimental unit? What is a treatment? And what is block? Clear? Now, experimental error. So now you are you divided it plot into blocks. You got experimental unit, treatment, etc. And you start you constructed your design, everything. But after experiment, an experimenter can notice some variations that may be due to various extraneous factors or maybe due to plant competition, factors like climatic, genetic difference, etc. So these may influence our design and some error will be there. That is known as experimental error. That is not from our part. This is external. That is experimental error. Clear? Now let us move on to design of experiments. What are the common designs of experiments that we are practicing? Before going into that, Ronald A. Fisher introduced the design of experiments or experimental design. First introduced by Ronald A. Fisher. And he practiced, there are three basic principles in the experimental designs. What are they? This is very important. Three basic principles of experimental designs. They are randomization, replication and local control. These are given by Professor Ronald A. Fisher. So one by one we can discuss what are the three principles of experimental design. First one is replication. So you know the another term for replication, that is repetition. So repetition of treatment under investigation is known as what? Replication. So you know for every experiment that conduct many times or repeat many times, then you will get the reliable results. Okay. So more than one experiment you have to conduct. So repeating that application of treatment several times, then you can eliminate the experimental error. That is known as what? Replication. Very important principle. In our experiment usually we have a experimental group and a control group. Experimental group and a control group. Okay. So how much experimental group you are taking, that much control group also you have to take. For example, you are practicing that 2 diet. You have 50 or 100 birds. Then you provide them the diet. In how many types or how many times you are giving, the duration, the number of birds. These are all very, very important. You cannot give the result after giving a diet to 1 or 2 birds only for 1 week. It will not be a good result. You have to practice it for 10 or 20 birds for 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. You have to repeat it, then only the result you will get. Clear? So, for example, in the corona vaccination, if you practice the vaccines only in a particular group of patients or particular group, this the result will not be a 100% positive. So, you have to test it in many groups, many times. Okay. In all these, there is a positive means you final result you can publish. That is repetition of treatments under investigation. That is known as replication. Very important. Okay. It is desirable to have as much uniformity or homogeneity as possible within each replication. Understood? That is important point. Second one is randomization. What is that? All the treatments have equal chances of being allocated to different experimental unit. You know what is random sampling? Same type here. All treatments have equal chance of being allocated to different experimental units. That is known as randomization. You know, for example, there are 100 patients and you are your trial of that COVID vaccine. So, randomly you have to give this to all patients. Or when you are going to test it 1, 2 or 3 specific patients, the results will not be a reliable one. So, all treatments have equal chances of being allocated to different experimental units. So, how many experimental units are there? All experimental units should have a chance to get the treatment. That is known as what? Randomization. Understood? Okay. Now, third important principle is that local control. What do you mean by local control? So, it is the important principle for reducing the experimental error. That by providing relatively heterogeneous experimental area is divided into homogeneous blocks. Heterogeneous area is divided into homogeneous blocks. That is known as local control. When you are practicing an experiment in a field, there is soil heterogeneity will be there. That increase the experimental error. One part of the plot having highly fertile soil, other part having less fertile soil. When you are going same variety, but growth will be different in both part of the plot. So, you have to avoid it. So, treatment allocated at random within each block. That is local control. So, for example, you have 20 patients under your treatment. What you will do? You have to divide that 20 patients are of heterogeneous group. Clear? You have to divide into some homogeneous group like child one group, adult one group, old one group likewise. Then within that homogeneous unit, within the child group you give the treatment, within the adult group you give the treatment, within the old you group give the treatment, then compare the results. Clear? So, this will give you a good result. Understood? So, local control, the principle indicates that you have to divide the experimental unit into heterogeneous group into homogeneous group and apply the treatment. You will get the good results. That is what known as the third principle, local control. Understood? So, the 3 important principles that we discussed here, one is that replication, second one is randomization, and third one is the local control. Understood? Okay. Now, we are moving on to the size and shape of experimental unit. The desirable shape of an unit is very important. That size should not be very large and not too small. So, a moderate means the shape have a little effect, whereas for large plot the effect of shape is more. Okay. For maximum precision, the plot should have rectangular in shape, then you will get maximum precision. Okay. Now, moving on to designs. What are the various designs? There are designs or experimental designs are broadly classified into two groups, that single factor experiments and multi-factor experiments. Multi-factor experiments can also be called as factorial. So single factor experiments divide into two types, complete block design and incomplete block designs. Okay, there are two types of single factor experiment, complete block design and incomplete block design. So experiment in which only a single factor varies, all others are constant. So we are conducting an experiment in which only a single factor varies, all others are kept constant. That is known as single factor experiment. Like variety vary from plot to plot. We are using various rice varieties in each plot, but fertilizers, then other irrigation and agronomic practices, water management, insect control, every other factors are kept constant to all plots. What we are changing is only the variety. So here we can study the influence of variety. Okay, so variety is varying from plot to plot, but all other factors are kept constant. That is the thing known as that single factor experiment. So under the single factor experiment, there are two types of designs you have there, complete block design and incomplete block design. Clear? Okay. Now second category of design is multi-factor experimental design. What do you mean by multi-factor design? Here we are investigating several factors simultaneously in a single experiment. For example, yield of a crop that depend on variety of crop used, particular manure used, type of irrigation we are providing, type of pest control, everything. So various factors that control a particular thing. So we are considering all these factors. We are investigating all these factors simultaneously in an experiment. That's known as what? Multi-factor experiment or factorial experiment. Understood? So designs are of two types, single factor design and a multi-factor design. Clear? Okay. Now in your syllabus, you have to study some examples for designs. First one is completely randomized design, CRD. Completely randomized design, CRD. The term itself indicates the application of principle randomization here. Completely randomized. Okay. So treatments are assigned completely at random. Treatments are assigned completely at random. So what happens is, each experimental unit has same chance of receiving a treatment. Treatment are randomly applied. Okay. Appropriate when the unit is homogeneous. Otherwise of no use. Clear? Okay. For when a patient's medicine and impacts on patient, when you study, if it is a miscellaneous group, heterogeneous group, when you apply giving the treatments randomly, what will be the result? Child, the effect will be 1, adult effect will be 1. Okay. So it will not be applicable in a heterogeneous group. In field experiment, soil heterogeneity will be there. So that case also it is not preferred. So it can apply in laboratory experiments. In our tissue culture experiments, our laboratory we are growing seed culture, seedling raise. In that case it can be applicable. In greenhouse conditions also applicable. Here two principles are applying only, randomization and replication. Replication is there, we will repeating the treatment. Randomization is very important here. So is there any difference between the treatment? So after treatment you have to find out it. Is there any difference between these treatments? That is we will write a hypothesis, when we will test the hypothesis by using test of significance. Okay. So when you apply treatment, you will get the results. So you have to compare the results. Clear? By using test of significance, and we already discussed that chapter. So results you have to, after your experiment, the results you have to compare by test of significance. Here the test of significance used is F-test. Test of significance used is F-test. Understood? So, completely randomized design is a simple design. Treatments allocated completely at random, and only two principles, replication and randomization, applied here. It is applicable only in homogeneous group, not preferred in field conditions, laboratory conditions it is applicable, and here the test of significance is using is F-test. Okay. See, this is an example. I have taken 10 cattles and 2 types of diet here, and what is the effect of this diet on these 10 cattles? How you will perform this experiment like this. So, you randomly arrange that cattles. So, I have grouped them randomly into 2 groups by taking not considering anything, randomly grouped into 2, and I am giving diet 1 to one group and diet to another group. So, after giving diet 1 to the group 1, I will get a result. After giving diet to group 2, I will get result. For example, the production of milk or whatever it may, weight of the cattle or whatever criteria you can take it, then compare the results. How you will compare it? Here for comparing the means or the results, you will do test of significance. The test is F-test. Compare the result. This is the simple technique, completely randomized design, or you can call it as CRD. Clear? Okay. Now, next, advantages. So, number of replication varied from treatment to treatment. So, you can, it allows complete flexibility. Any number of treatment you can use, different treatment you can use, unequal number of times you can use, whatever it may, that depends on your choice, no restriction, that is advantage. And very simple statistical analysis, and when some results are missing, no problem, you can proceed it. So, this is a simple way of experimental design, that is completely randomized design, CRD, that is the first one. Understood? Okay. Now, second one is randomized block design, RBD. Randomized block design or RBD, randomized block design. So, this is a widely used design in agriculture research and also having wide applicability, and this have following the principle of local control. That is very important here. It follows the principle of local control. See what is that performance here, principle of local control using that experiments. You studied what is the principle of local control. In that, that block, a large heterogeneous group is divided into a number of small groups. Large heterogeneous group is divided into small groups, homogeneous groups of equal size, and for which we are giving the treatment. So, that local control is applied here. So, this is very highly advanced technique. So, treatments are applied at random to the homogeneous groups within the blocks and replicated over the blocks. So, 3 principles applying, but the very important principle local control. That is, so the result is more accurate. Okay. So, large heterogeneous group divided into homogeneous blocks. Under each blocks, you are giving treatments randomly and replicated. Clear? Okay. It is called randomized block design because it uses technique of random sampling in assigning various treatments. So, in the first part, it differs from the complete randomized design, and second part, it is similar to randomized block design. Clear? First, similar to the our first design. See, so in the first part, some differences will be there, and the second part completely same as that of the first design. See, experimental unit. So, take the experimental unit. For example, our cattles. So, take the cattles. Then here we are dividing that experimental unit cattles into two homogeneous groups. See, in the first type of designs, we are not conducted any such grouping system. So in that first completely randomized design or CRD, randomly we gave the treatment without making them into group based on or some criteria. But here we randomly we grouped them in the first case. But here we are grouping that unit into two, block 1 and block 2 based on the criteria male and female gender. Okay, block 1 male or breed, whatever it may you can take. Block 1 male, block 2 female. Now in that block 1 we are giving again dividing into group 1 and group 2. This is a random grouping. Clear? Again we are randomly dividing group 1 and group 2, and now we are giving the treatments. In the group 1 we are giving diet 1, group 2 we are giving diet 2. From here onwards we are applying the same method as that of the first design. Understood? So here random division, group 1, group 2, give diet 1, give diet 2. Clear? You will get a result, compare the results. Clear? Here. Same way in that block 2, group 1, group 2, diet 1, diet 2. So here this way we are doing this experiment. So first principle here, local control, then randomization, then replication. Then here in this itself we are comparing the result. Here only we are comparing the results. So that is the way that experiment is doing. Understood? This is known as the second type of the randomized block design, RBD. Okay. Its advantages, it's most efficient and accurate, flexibility, and also any number of replication can be included, no restriction, statistical analysis very simple and easy. So that's the advantage. Okay. Now the last and third important technique is LSD, Latin square design. See, Latin square design. As many replications as there are treatments. That is the basic thing. As there are how many treatments are you are giving, that much number of replications will be there. See, experimental unit divide into plots. How? In squares, in such a way that as many as plots in a row as there are in each column. And this is also equal to number of treatments. Clear? So, as many as plots, as many as column, and that is equal to number of treatments. This is a very important point coming under the Latin square design. See? And plots are assigned to treatments, and each treatment occur only once in each row and once in each column. So, number of column, number of row, number of treatment equal, and each treatment occur only once in each row and once in each column. See, three factors, row, column and treatment, all are equal, that n into n array. See, look, this is a 5 into 5. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows, 5 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, 5 into 5. This is the typical alignment. Clear? And see, these are all treatment. A, B, C, D, E are treatments. 5 treatments are there. See, in the first column, the treatment A occur only in once. First row, treatment A occur only in once. Second column, treatment B occur only in once. See, second row, treatment occur only in once. B only in one. Third row, C only in once. Third column, C only in once. See, likewise, these 5 treatments A, B, C, D, E and occur once in a column, once in a row. Okay. So, column, row, treatments all are equal. That is the important design of Latin square design. That Latin square design, this came from a game practiced in many years back. So let us explain this with the help of an example of a car. Okay, so example of a car. See here in this case, this indicates driver A, B, C, D, E. Drivers, 4 drivers A, B, C, D. See, 4 cars, 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear? 4 treatments. What are the treatments? 4 brands of petrol. 4 brand of petrol A, B, C, D. That are the treatment. Okay. 4 cars, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 drivers A, B, C, D. How it will work out? See. So when you take the example of first one, fix column A. Fix column A. That is that small a, that is driver. Driver A using the brands, 4 brands of petrol. Driver A assigned for different cars and 4 kinds of petrol. Driver A assigned for different cars and 4 kinds of petrols. See, driver A, car 1, 4 kinds of petrol. Driver A, car 2, 4 kinds of petrol. Likewise. Okay. So arrange the effect of cars on different petrols. So fix the first car, assign 4 drivers and 4 petrols. First car, assign driver A, 4 petrols. See, second car, driver A, 4 petrol. Third car, driver A, 4 petrol. Likewise, it is arranged. Okay. So each treatment occur once in a row. Each treatment occur once in a row and a column. This is very important point. This is a 3-way analysis. It is known as 3-way analysis. 3 factors are considering here. So there are different examples by which we can discuss this Latin square designs simply. Okay. Then by another example you can have fertility level, seed difference, etc. So I will show you. So we can take this as an example. See that columns, 4 columns. You can take 4 varieties. Same way this side also 4 or 5 you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here also 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Here you can take 1, then 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 1 more 1, 5. Okay. Then here you can have that x1, then x2, x3, x4, 1 more, x5. Okay. So likewise how you will do it, see. Okay, this is an example. So these are fertility level here. So what is this? This is fertility level. Fertility level. Okay. And here what is seed difference? Here it is seed difference. So fertility level on that side, then seed difference on this side. See, okay. Now, how it is possible? 4 types of fertilizers we have. What are the 4 types of fertilizers? They are A, B, C, D, E and are the 4 types. So, how you will assign this? For this is the seed difference. X1 is one type, X2 is a variety, X3, X4, S5. Okay. And fertility levels are 5 there. Then now we are giving the treatments. Our treatment is 5 types of fertilizer. What are the 5 types of fertilizer? Okay. So, fertilizer A here. Now, see fertilizer B, then fertilizer C, then fertilizer D, then fertilizer E. See, okay. Now, in the second, for second seed, again, here fertilizer B, then fertilizer C, fertilizer D, then fertilizer E. Okay. So, likewise in the second also you can have C, D, then E, and what is left here? A. Understood? Okay. Now, you see a second C, D, sorry, C, D and E. Then what is left? A. Then C next, B. Clear? Then see here, E, A, then here B, then here C. Okay. Now see A, treatment A, then treatment B, then treatment C and treatment D. See, likewise you can display. So, what are all these indicates? These are the A, B, C, D, E are the 5 types of fertilizers and 3 variables we are studying together. So, here in this the test of significance we apply is two-way ANOVA to compare. Two-way ANOVA. We already studied when we are considering more than 3 factors together in the test of significance. What we apply is ANOVA. The last class we discussed. So, here for comparing the results you can use a test ANOVA. Okay. So, 3 variables together we are studying seed difference fertility. So, see X1 seed at fertility level 1, the treatment is A, that first type of fertilizer. Okay. So, for seed 1 at fertility level 1 we are giving the seed A. Okay. Then for seed 1 fertility level 1, B, treatment B, treatment C, treatment D, treatment D. Okay. Read like this, X1 1 A B C D E. See X2 1 that A B C D E. Likewise you have to interpret this result. So, this is where that here one is dependent variable, the others are independent variable. Usually crop is the dependent variable, others become independent variable. Likewise you can perform the Latin square design. So, Latin square design is the widely applied applicable designs and here each object appear once and only once in each row and column. That is very, very important. Row equal to column equal to treatment. Don't forget to study that point, row equal to column equal to treatment. See. Okay. Now, the last one is what we studied is multi-factor experiments, that is factorial experiments. Several factors investigated simultaneously in a single experiment. For example, yield depend on variety, manure, so on. All possible combinations, varieties and manures we can study in the single experiment, that is known as what? That factorial experiment, that is very widely using experiment. So, here the in that experiment when several factors are investigated, these experiments will give good results in a short time and also these are observed usually in the agricultural field, and in this is usually conducted for combinations of varieties and manuals, usually doing such experiments in same experiment. Okay, and for example, if there are p varieties, different varieties at p levels of the factor variety, and second factor manure have q levels, so there are q different manures and p different varieties, then factorial result will known as p into q experiment. Okay, p varieties, that is p levels, and q manure q level, then a design is known as p into q experiment. Okay, so the two factor may be two different manures, nitrogen and phosphate, and p and q are different doses. So that is p into q experiment. See, so the total number of treatments in a factorial experiment is the product of levels in each factor. Product of levels in each factor. So for example, there are two levels. For example, for manure having two levels, the number of treatment is 2 into 2, that is 4. Okay. If a manure having 3 level, that is 2 cube factorial, the number of treatment is 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. Okay. The number of treatment increases when number of factors also increases. So that is the factorial experiment. So this is more advantageous than all other results. So it is useful in study combined effect of two or more factors simultaneously, and wide range of factor combination is used. It result in a reliable result. We can save time and materials. Information obtained is more complete in the factorial experiments. So its disadvantage is its execution is more complex, difficult. If the number of treatment combinations we are taking is wrong, we will get wrong results. Okay. So some cases, when factors and treatment increases, we have to increase block size also. So that will increase the heterogeneity of the experiment. So experimental error will be high. So there are some disadvantages also in the factorial experiments. So that's all about the experimental designs. So in this chapter we studied what is an experiment, what are the different terms coming under, what are the three principles, that is replication, randomization, local control, what are the three important design, that randomized block design, Latin square design, completely random design, and also the advantages, then factorial experiments, etc. There is a chance of arising essay question from this chapter. So study well and have a nice day. Thank you.